Hey, welcome back to Yehusha's Glory. I want to thank you guys for all of the prayers that you sent along, because I had the sick loved one, and I told you that we were trying to get moved. Everything's working out great. Everybody's healthy. Everybody feels okay. Just wanted to let you know, no serious problems at this point. And I did send out a couple of messages to let you know, still thinking about you, and I wanted to know what book you wanted me to do next. And you all voted back that Jubilees would be the book. Got more votes for Jubilees than anything. Got a couple calls for the Gospels, and got a couple people mentioned doing some of the other lost books, which we are going to get into. We're just going to do these kind of in order. Nice thing is Jubilees comes right before Enoch and Jasher in the Sefer. So we're going to start with that. It's going to be on page 207, the book of Jubilees, and I'm going to start right now. Ready? Page 207, chapter 1, Jubilees, Sefer. This is the history of the division of the days of the Torah and of the testimony of the events of the years of their year, weeks, of their Jubilees throughout all the years of the world, as Yehusha spoke to Moshe on Mount Sinai when he went up to receive the sapphires of the Torah and of the commandments, according to the voice of Elohim, as he said unto him, go up to the top of the mount. So here we go. And it came to pass in the first year of the exodus of the children of Israel out of Mitzrayim, in the 3rd month, on the 16th day of the month, that Elohim spoke to Moshe, saying, come up to me on the mount, and I will give you 2 sapphire stones of the Torah and of the commandment, which I have written, that you may teach them. And Moshe went up to the mount of Elohim, and the glory of Yahuwah abode on Mount Sinai. And a cloud overshadowed it 6 days. And he called to Moshe on the 7th day out of the midst of the cloud, and the appearance of the glory of Yahuwah was like a flaming fire on the top of the mount. And Moshe was on the mount 40 days and 40 nights, and Elohim taught him the earlier and the later history of the division of all the days of the Torah and of the testimony. And he said, incline your hearts to every word which I shall speak to you on this mount, and write them in a sefer, in order that their generations may see how I have not forsaken them for all the evil which they have wrought in transgressing the covenant which I established between me and you for their generations, this day on Mount Sinai. And thus it will come to pass, when all these things come upon them, that they will recognize that I am more righteous than they in all their judgments and in all their actions, and they will recognize that I have been truly with them. And do you write for yourself all these words which I declare unto you this day, for I know their rebellion and their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land of which I swore to their fathers, to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, saying, unto your seed will I give a land flowing with milk and honey. And they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange Elohim and Elohim, which cannot deliver them from aught of their tribulation. And this witness shall be heard for a witness against them. For they will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them, and they will walk after other people, and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve their Elohim. And these will prove unto them an offense, and a tribulation, and an affliction, and a snare. And many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments, and the feasts of my covenant, and my Shabbath, or Sabbath, and my holy place, which I have sanctified for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle, and my sanctuary, which I have sanctified for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there. And they will make to themselves high places, and Asherah poles, and graven images, and they will worship each his own graven image, so as to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to devils and to all the works of the error of their hearts. And I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but they will not hear, and will slay the witnesses also, and they will persecute those who seek the Torah, and they will abrogate and change everything so as to work evil before my eyes. And I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them into the hand of the other people for captivity and for a prey and for devouring. And I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them amongst the other people, and they will forget all my Torah and all my commandments and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons and Shabbathot and feasts and jubilees and ordinances. And after this, they will turn to me from amongst the other people with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength, and I will gather them from amongst all the other people, and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. And I will disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness. And I will remove them, the plant of uprightness, with all my heart and with all my soul, and they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse, and they shall be the head and not the tail. And I will build my sanctuary in their midst, and I will tabernacle with them, and I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people in truth and righteousness. And I will not forsake them, nor fail them, for I am Yahuwah Elohim. And Moshe fell on his face and prayed and said, O Yahuwah Eloi, do not forsake your people and your inheritance, so that they should wander in the error of their hearts, and do not deliver them into the hands of their enemies, the other people, lest they should rule over them and cause them to sin against you. Let your mercy, O Yahuwah, be lifted up upon your people, and create in them an upright ruach. And let not the ruach of Belial rule over them, to accuse them before you, and to ensnare them from all the cycles of righteousness, so that they may perish before your face, from before your face. But they are your people and your inheritance, which you have delivered with your great power from the hands of the Mitzrayim. Create in them a clean heart and a ruach hakodesh, and let them not be ensnared in their sins from henceforth until eternity. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, I know their contrariness and their thoughts, and their stiff-neckedness, and they will not be obedient till they confess their own sin and the sin of their fathers. And after this they will turn to me in an uprightness, and with all their heart and with all their soul, and I will circumcise the foreskin of their heart and the foreskin of their heart of their seed, and I will create in them a Ruach HaKodesh, and I will cleanse them so that they shall not turn away from me from that day unto eternity. And their souls will cleave to me and to all my commandments, and they will fulfill my commandments, and I will be their father, and they shall be my children. And they all shall be called children of the living Elohim, and every angel and every Ruach shall know, yea, they shall know that these are my children, and that I am their father in uprightness and righteousness, and that I love them. And do you write down for yourself all these words which I declare unto you on this mountain, the first and the last which shall come to pass in all the divisions of the days, in the Torah and in the testimony, and in the weeks and the jubilees unto eternity, until I descend and tabernacle with them throughout eternity. And he said to the angel of the presence, write for Moshe, from the beginning of creation till my sanctuary has been built among them for all eternity. And Yahuwah will appear to the eyes of all, and all shall know that I am the Elohim of Israel, and the father of all the children of Yaakov, and king on Mount Sion for all eternity. And Sion and Jerusalem shall be holy. And the angel of the presence who went before the camp of Israel took the tables of the divisions of the years from the time of the creation of the Torah and of the testimony of the weeks in the Jubilees according to the individual years, according to all the number of the Jubilees, according to the individual years from the day of the new creation when the heavens and the earth shall be renewed, and all their creatures according to the powers of the heaven and according to all the creation of the earth, until the sanctuary of Yehusha shall be made in Jerusalem on Mount Sion, and all the luminaries be renewed for healing and for peace and for blessing for all the elect of Israel, and that thus it may be from that day unto all the days of the earth. Chapter 2, page 208. And the angel of the presence spoke to Moshe according to the word of Yehusha, saying, write the complete history of the creation, how in 6 days Yahuwah Elohim finished all his works and all that he created, and kept Shabbat on the 7th day, and sanctified it for all ages, and appointed it as a sign for all his works. For on the first day he created the heavens, which are above, and the earth and the waters, and all the ruach which serve before him, the angels of the presence, and the angels of sanctification, and the angels of the ruach of fire, and the angels of the ruach of the winds, and the angels of the ruach of the clouds, and of darkness, and of snow, and of hail, and of hoarfrost, and the angels of the voices, and of the thunder, and of the lightning, and the angels of the ruach of cold and heat, and of winter, and of spring, and of autumn and summer, and of all the ruach of his creatures which are in the heavens and on the earth. He created the abysses and the darkness, evening and night, and the light, dawn and day, which he has prepared in the knowledge of his heart. And thereupon we saw his works, and praised him, and lauded before him on account of all his works. For 7 great works did he create on the first day. And on the second day he created the firmament in the midst of the waters. And the waters were divided on that day. Half of them went up above, and half of them went down below the firmament that was in the midst over the face of the whole earth. And this was the only work Elohim created on the second day. And on the third day he commanded the waters to pass from off the face of the whole earth into one place, and the dry land to appear. And and the waters did so as he commanded them, and they retired from off the face of the earth into one place outside of this firmament, and the dry land appeared. And on that day he created for them all the seas according to their separate gathering places, and all the rivers, and the gatherings of the waters in the mountains, and on all the earth, and all the lakes, and all the dew of the earth, and the seed which is sown, and all sprouting things, and fruit-bearing trees, and trees of the wood, and the garden of Eden, in Eden and all. These 4 great works Elohim created on the third day. And on the 4th day he created the sun and the moon and the stars, and set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon all the earth, and to rule over the day and the night, and divide the light from darkness. And Elohim appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for days, and for Shabbathot, and for months, and for feasts, and for years, and for Shabbathot of years, and for Jubilees, and for all seasons of the years. And it divides the light from the darkness, and for prosperity, that all things may prosper which which shoot and grow on the earth. These three kinds he made on the fourth day. And on the fifth day, he created great sea monsters in the depths of the waters. For these were the first things of flesh that were created by his hands, the fish and everything that moves in the waters and everything that flies, the birds and all their kind. And the sun rose above them to prosper them, and above everything that was on the earth, everything that shoots out of the earth, and all fruit-bearing trees and all flesh. These three kinds he created on the fifth day. And on the sixth day, he created all the animals of the earth, and all cattle, and everything that moves on the earth. And after this, he created man. And a woman created he them, and gave them dominion over all that is upon the earth and in the seas. I'm going to go back. I normally don't do this. I'm going back. On the sixth day, he created all the animals of the earth, all the cattle, everything that moves on the earth. And after this, he created man. A man and a woman created he them, and gave him dominion over all that is upon the earth and in the seas, and over everything that flies, and over beasts, and over cattle, and over everything that moves on the earth, and over the whole earth. And over all this he gave him dominion. And these four kinds he created on the sixth day. And there were altogether 22 kinds. And he finished all his work on the sixth day, all that is in the heavens and on the earth and in the seas and in the abysses and in the light and in the darkness and in everything. And he gave us a great sign, He gave us a great sign, the Shabbat, that we should work 6 days, but guard the Shabbat on the seventh day from all work. And all the angels of the presence and all the angels of sanctification, these two great classes, he has bidden us to guard the Shabbat with him in heaven and on earth. And he said unto us, Behold, I will separate unto myself a people from among all the peoples, and these shall guard the Shabbat. And I will sanctify them unto myself as my people, and will bless them as I have sanctified the Shabbat, and do sanctify it unto myself. Even so will I bless them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim. And I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn son, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. And I will teach them Shabbat, that they may guard the Shabbat thereon from all work. And thus he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should guard the Shabbat with us on the seventh day, to eat and to drink and to bless him who has created all things, as he has blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all peoples, and that they should guard the Shabbat together with us. And he caused his commands to ascend as a sweet savor, acceptable before him all the days. There were 22 heads of mankind, from Adam to Jacob, and 22 kinds of work were made until the seventh day. This is blessed and holy, and the former also is blessed and holy, and this one serves with that one for sanctification and blessing. And to this Jacob and his seed it was granted that they should always be the blessed and Kodeshayim of the first testimony and Torah, even as he had sanctified and blessed the Shabbat on the seventh day. He created heaven and earth and everything that he created in 6 days, And Elohim made the seventh day holy for all his works. Therefore he commanded on its behalf that whosoever does any work thereon shall die, and that he who defiles it shall surely die. Wherefore do you command the children of Israel to observe this day, that they may keep it holy, and not do thereon any work, and not to defile it, as it is holier than all other days. And whosoever profanes it shall surely die, and whosoever does thereon any work shall surely die eternally, that the children of Israel may observe this day throughout their generations, and not be rooted out of the land. For it is a holy day and a blessed day. And everyone who observes it and guards Shabbat thereon from all his work will be holy and blessed throughout all days like unto us. Declare and say to the children of Israel the Torah of this day, both that they should guard the Shabbat thereon, and that they should not forsake it in the error of their hearts, and that it is against the Torah to do any work thereon which is unseemly, to do thereon their own pleasure, and that they should not prepare thereon anything to be eaten or drunk, and that it is against the Torah to draw water, or bring in, or take out thereon through their gates any burden which they had not prepared for themselves on the sixth day in their dwellings. And they shall not bring in nor take out from house to house on that day, for that day is more holy and blessed than any Jubilee day of the Jubilees. And on this we kept Shabbat in the heavens before it was made known to any flesh, to guard the Shabbat thereon on the earth. And the Creator of all things blessed it, but he did not sanctify all peoples and nations to guard the Shabbat thereon, but Israel alone. Them alone he permitted to eat and drink and to guard the Shabbat thereon on the earth. And the Creator of all things blessed this day, which he had created for blessing and holiness and glory above all days. This Torah and testimony was given to the children of Israel as a Torah forever unto their generations. Chapter 3. And on the 6 days of the second week, we brought, according to the word of Elohim, unto Adam and all the beasts and all the cattle and all the birds and everything that moves on the earth and everything that moves in the water, according to their kinds and according to their types. The beasts on the first day, the cattle on the second day, the birds on the third day, and all that which moves on the earth on the fourth day, and that which moves in the water on the fifth day. And Adam named them, all by their respective names. And as he called them, so was their name. And on these 5 days Adam saw all these, male and female, according to every kind that was on the earth. But he was alone, and found no helpmeet for him. And Yehusha said unto us, it is not good that the man should be alone. Let us make a helpmeet for him. And Yahuwah Elohinu caused a deep sleep to fall upon him, and he slept. And he took for the woman one rib from amongst his ribs. And this rib was the origin of the woman from amongst his ribs. And he built up the flesh in its stead, and built the woman. And he awakened Adam out of his sleep, and on awakening he rose on the 6th day, and he brought her to him, and he knew her, and said unto her, this is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called my woman, because she was taken from her man. Therefore shall man and woman be one, and therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and cleave unto his woman, and they shall be one flesh. In the first week was Adam created, and the rib, his woman, in the second week. He showed her unto him, And for this reason the commandment was given to keep in their defilement for a male 7 days, and for the female twice 7 days. And after Adam had completed 40 days in the land where he had been created, we brought him into the Garden of Eden to till and guard it, but his woman they brought in on the 80th day. And after this she entered into the Garden of Eden, and for this reason the commandment is written on the heavenly tablets in regard to her that gives birth. If she bears a male, she shall remain in her uncleanness 7 days according to the first week of days. And 33 days shall she remain in the blood of her purifying. And she shall not touch any sanctified thing, nor enter into the sanctuary until she accomplishes these days, which are enjoined in the case of a male child. But in the case of a female child, she shall remain in her uncleanness 2 weeks of days, according to the first 2 weeks, and 66 days in the blood of her purification, and they will be in all 80 days. And when she had completed these 80 days, we brought her into the Garden of Eden, for it is holier than all the earth besides, and every tree that is planted in it is holy. Therefore, there was ordained regarding her who bears a male or a female child the statute of those days, that she should touch no sanctified thing, nor enter into the sanctuary until these days for the male or female child are accomplished. This is the Torah and testimony which was written down for Israel, in order that they should observe all the days. And in the first week of the first Jubilee, Adam and his woman were in the Garden of Eden for 7 years, tilling and guarding it. And we gave him work, and we instructed him to do everything that is suitable for tillage. And he tilled the garden, and was naked, and knew it not, and was not ashamed. And he protected the garden from the birds and beasts and cattle, and gathered its fruit, and ate, and put aside the remnant for himself and for his woman, and put aside that which was being kept. And after the completion of the 7 years, which he had completed there, 7 years exactly, and in the second month, on the 17th day of the month, the serpent came and approached the woman. And the serpent said to the woman, Has Elohim commanded you, saying, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And she said to it, Of all of the fruit of the trees of the garden, Elohim has said unto us, Eat. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said unto us, Ye shall not eat thereof, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for Elohim knows that on the day ye shall eat thereof, your eyes will be opened, and ye will be as Elohim, and ye will know good and evil. And the woman saw the tree, and that its fruit was good for food, and she took thereof and ate. And when she had first covered her shame with fig leaves, she gave thereof to Adam, and he ate, and his eyes were opened, and he saw that he was naked. And he took fig leaves and sewed them together, and made an apron for himself, and covered his shame. And Elohim cursed the serpent, and was wroth with it forever. And he was wroth with the woman, because she hearkened to the voice of the serpent, and did eat. And he said unto her, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your pains. In sorrow you shall bring forth children, and your return shall be unto your man, and he will rule over you. And to Adam also he said, Because you have hearkened unto the voice of your woman, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, that you should not eat thereof, cursed be the ground for your sake. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to you, and you shall eat your bread in the sweat of your face, till you return to the earth from whence you were taken. For earth you are, and unto earth you shall you return. And he made for them coats of skin, and clothed them, and sent them forth from the Garden of Eden. And on that day on which Adam went forth from the garden, he offered as a sweet savor an offering, frankincense, galbanum, and stacte, and spices in the morning with the rising of the sun from the day when he covered his shame. And on that day was closed the mouth of all beasts, and of all cattle and of birds, and whatsoever walks and whatsoever moves, so that they could no longer speak. For they had all spoken one with another, with one lip and with one tongue. And he sent out of the Garden of Eden all flesh that was in the Garden of Eden, and all flesh was scattered according to its kinds and according to its types unto the places which had been created for them. And to Adam alone did he give the wherewithal to cover his shame, and all the beasts and cattle. On this account it is prescribed on the heavenly tablets as touching all those who know the judgment of the Torah, that they should cover their shame and should not uncover themselves as the other people uncover themselves. And on the new moon of the 4th month, Adam and his woman went forth from the Garden of Eden, and they dwelt in the land of Eldah, in the land of their creation. And Adam called the name of his woman Yehusha. And they had no son till the first Jubilee, and after this he knew her. Now he tilled the land as he had been instructed in the Garden of Eden. Okay, we're going to stop right there at chapter 4 on page 211. I want to thank you very much for being here. I'm sorry it took so long to get back. And I want to just ask Father to bless all of us. Father, Yahuwah, please bless us all. Take care of us. Protect us from our enemies. Guide us. Give us strength. Heal us. I have a very special guest out there, a special member of our subscribers who wrote to me, said a prayer for you, buddy. And all of you, please know that Father loves all of us. He's taking care of us. Please, Father, protect us, guide us. Don't let anybody interfere with us. Smite our enemies. Make our enemies forgive us. And take it from their heart so that they don't want to hurt us. We love you so much, and we only come to you bowed down before Yahuwah, before Yehusha's throne, and in Yehusha's name. We love you, Yahuwah. Amen. See you next time on Yehusha's Glory.